All of a sudden, we've become very self-conscious. I've got these hands, these arms, I'm not sure what to do, everybody's looking at me. All you need to know is that high gestures are perceived as being positive. And low gestures, can you feel it here? You can see it, are perceived as being negative. I don't know if you already know, there are 5 families of gesture that you can go to. So we're going to have a look at the 5 families of gesture. But just for the fun of it, let's have a look at what you guys do with your hands. I've been observing for a long time. So these are the classics. This is the nudist position. Yeah. No? And then, the guy feels a bit strange standing like this at one moment. This is no better. The firing squad, your last wishes before being shot. And then we've got Mr. Cool, one hand in the pocket, and he talks to the floor. What a lovely floor. Norwegian wood, isn't it good? Quick glance at the public. Comes back again, quick glance at the screen, as you can see. I'd love a floor like this at home, In fact, he's lost €5. I've lost €5. It doesn't matter. Then we've got Mr. Super Cool, both hands in the pockets. I have this presentation to do, no big deal, And then very often we forget the hands are in the pockets and we start doing all sorts of strange things. What are you doing? Ladies do this, I don't know why. I've been observing a long time. Ooh, she's had a row with her husband. Ooh, it's even more serious, the divorce in the air. Everything you do, we will see. Guys, it's no better. You do this, up with the trousers, up with the trousers. And we often get this one where we sort of clap the hands and we do this sort of jumpy, sort of nervous movement. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's... and I'm rubbing the hands. Now, this is very reassuring for the person that's doing it. But research tells us this either means it's usually negatively perceived. I'm washing my hands, don't want anything to do with it. But research says we're mainly caressing ourselves. They're not going to hurt you. You're going to be all right, don't worry. So, first family. Whenever you have a quantity, you can go here. The hands and the arms are parallel. So when you have this quantity, let me do a demonstration of that. It's always around waist level. Yesterday, when all my troubles seem so far away, today and tomorrow. In the medical world, that could be, in 1976, there was a first study that was done, and more recently, in 1992, a second study. The study I'm talking about today was done last year. And you're helping people, in fact, to remember, because you're creating a very strong image with that gesture. Quantitative can also be the hand parallel to the floor, small, medium, tall. There are 3 kinds of deictic gestures. We have the pictograph. The pictograph will use the index fingers like a couple of paint brushes. Grab a piece of A4 paper, and you can see the A4 paper there. In the top left-hand corner, I want you to write a number here. Now, did anybody realize that this is my right arm and this is my right-hand side? So all of my gestures are inverted. Did you realize? Most people don't realize, they just feel comfortable. So when you tick the box, we've done that, or we need to ask ourselves a question, or I'm indicating letter W, I'm doing it backwards. Now, has anybody realized the importance of my gestures? If I'm cut down the middle here, this is the past, and over here, this is the future. Anybody realized I was doing that? If you say, for example, in 2013 we were here, in 2014 we need to move forward. For the public, you are going backwards. The future for the public is this way. Think of a graph. January, February, March, April, May. So I make sure that the future, over the next 7 days, and you see I'm doing with which family? Quantitative. I'm doing the 7 days of the week. Pointing is very often perceived as being aggressive. Look at this picture. On the left, Mr. Medvedev. On the right, Nicolas Sarkozy, the former French president. This is a duel. What about this one? This guy, Mr. Collinat, one of the best football referees in the world, this guy could control a football match. So when I point, somebody's disagreeing all the time. At one moment, you need to control. So I point and I smile. Well, you disagree with me. Now look if I don't smile. Well, I know you disagree with me. And now if he comes in again, we call this setting the rules. I guarantee that somebody from the meeting will say, I'm sorry, the gentleman said come and see him after the meeting because we're interested in this. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. The public will do it for you. Have you ever seen Obama when he comes out in front of the public with his hands up like this in front of 5,000 people, and all of a sudden, I don't know if he's really seen somebody that he knows. The guy standing there, I just imagine, what is this? But it makes him look nice. President of the United States coming out in front of this big crowd, recognizing somebody on the 10th row. Isn't he nice? What a nice guy. That red box is the message. It doesn't mean that what you say is not important. This is a likability test. It's nothing to do with content. Good speakers know that if you pay attention to the intonation in the voice, you're passionate about your subject, and we can feel it, we can hear it, and you pay attention to your body language, that red box gets bigger. So the non-verbal here is more than 90%. But what's behind that 56%? I'm going to show you perhaps the most powerful slide of the afternoon. 7 things you should avoid doing. This is a list of do not do's, and I guarantee you'll be well perceived. Are you ready for this? All the best for your future presentations, and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.